said, I can't run or chew, but I look like I can. So that proves Michelle, ding, ding, ding. Shout out to Michelle ATLian. She said she was at the club. Look, and she was at the club. All right. Now let's go to Tamar video about the grill. You guys ready?
Death experience.
I just had to speak about what I was going through.
Hi, my name is Dr. Amira Ogunleya, and I am a cosmetic dentist out of Miami, Florida. I was recently contacted by Tamar Braxton's team, who reported a very traumatic injury. She woke up in a pool full of blood and saw many fractured teeth on her floor. She flew to me immediately within 24 hours. Upon evaluation, I confirmed that she did, in fact, have several fractured teeth. She even had an avulsed tooth, which is a tooth that's come completely out of the socket. She also appeared to have a fractured septum. We were able to perform immediate oral surgery on her, and we were able to stabilize her for now as she continues to heal. However, she will require several appointments to get her fully to her original smile. We also recommended that Tamar immediately see a medical doctor to evaluate, which appeared to be the deviated septum, broken septum. And upon their evaluation, they determined that she did, in fact, have a fractured nose. As far as the cause, the medical team ruled out.
By the way, isn't this the dentist? This is the dentist right here, basically giving a medical diagnosis, but like, you're a dentist.
Seizure, ruled out stroke, and the only thing left that it could possibly be is somnambulism, which is sleepwalking. Oftentimes, in cases of sleepwalking, the person has no memory or recollection of what they've done. They're able to walk, they're able to move, they can even...
Hold on. Y'all, this ain't real. So they're blaming it on sleepwalking. Sleepwalking? Notice, I forgot the big word that she used, but she used a big word that started with like an A or something, right? I didn't know what that was. And then she said, also known as sleepwalking. Sleepwalking? I done heard it all. I ain't heard about sleepwalking since I was like a little kid, y'all. I mean, I know people do sleepwalk, but all right, let's continue.
Injure themselves, and then they do not remember the next day. That appears to be our best guess right now, as we're still trying to figure out how something like this occurred. And although Tamar's situation is rare, this is a great learning opportunity that if this ever does happen to you, if you find yourself in a situation with an avulsed tooth, you should pick up your tooth by the crown, not the root. Touching the tooth by the root could harm a lot of the vitality of it. You want to try to rinse it with milk or saline. And if you can, you want to insert it directly back into the socket if possible. If you're unable to do that, you can store it in milk or inside the cheek of your mouth. The idea is to keep it moist and see your dentist immediately. And we might have a chance to re-implant it, and eventually the bone will integrate with it once again. Now, we are working extremely hard for Tamar, and we are confident that we're going to restore her smile back to its original beautiful state. It is imperative. People's smiles are so much bigger than just the aesthetic. This is the way we communicate. And for her, this is her gift to all of us, her beautiful voice. So we will update you soon with a beautiful new Tamar.
Tamar Braxton sharing her near-death experience.
I just had to speak about what I was going through.
Hi, my name is Dr. Amira Ogunleya, and I am a cosmetic dentist out of Miami.
So I just want y'all to hear it one more time. I just want y'all to hear it because sleepwalking. Let me let y'all hear it one more time.
Florida. I was recently contacted by Tamar Braxton's team, who reported a very traumatic injury. She woke up in a pool full of blood and saw many fractured teeth on her floor. She flew to me immediately within 24 hours. Upon evaluation, I confirmed that she did, in fact, have several fractured teeth. She even had an avulsed tooth, which is a tooth that's come completely out of the socket. She also appeared to have a fractured septum. We were able to perform immediate oral surgery on her, and we were able to stabilize her for now as she continues to heal. However, she will require several appointments to get her fully to her original smile. We also recommended that Tamar immediately see a medical doctor to evaluate, which appeared to be the deviated septum, broken septum. And upon their evaluation, they determined that she did, in fact, have a fractured nose. As far as the cause, the medical team ruled out seizure, ruled out stroke, and the only thing left that it could possibly be is somnambulism, which is sleepwalking. Oftentimes, in cases of sleepwalking, the person has no memory or recollection of what they've done. They're able to walk, they're able to move, they can even injure themselves, and then they do not remember the next day. That appears to be our best guess right now as we're still trying to figure out how something like this occurred. And although Tamar's situation is rare, this is a great learning opportunity that if this ever does happen to you, if you find yourself in a situation with an avulsed tooth, you should pick up your tooth by the crown, not the root. Touching the tooth by the root could harm a lot of the vitality of it. You want to try to rinse it with milk or saline. And if you can, you want to insert it directly back into the socket if possible. If you're unable to do that, you can store it in milk or inside the cheek of your mouth. The idea is to keep it moist and see your dentist immediately. And we might have a chance to re-implant it, and eventually the bone will integrate with it once again. Now, we are working extremely hard for Tamar, and we are confident that we're going to restore her smile back to its original beautiful state. It is imperative. People's smiles are so much bigger than just the aesthetic. You know, this is the way we communicate. And for her, this is her gift to all of us, her beautiful voice. So we will update you soon with a beautiful new Tamar.
All right.
Tamar Braxton sharing her near-death experience.
So all of this was caused by sleepwalking. Now, if she wants to tell us sleepwalking, that's fine. If she wants to tell us sleepwalking. But I think when Funky Dineva said it must have been those sleeping pills or them pills that you take. No, he said crazy pills, excuse me, because we want to get it quoted right, because we don't want no lawsuit. When Funky Dineva said it must have been the crazy pills, I believe that. I believe him more than this whole convoluted story about she done fell when she was sleepwalking, and that's why she has no recollection. Because here's my thing. Did they do a blood test and everything like that? Like, what was in your system? Now, are the pills making you sleepwalk that you be taking? That's the question. I'm just not buying this. And I did put up a poll question. Are you guys buying the shit? 84% of y'all said no. No. Excuse me, the sleepwalking? Crazy pills? Yes. Sleepwalking? No. I'm not believing it. Unless the crazy pills made you sleepwalk. And again, she said she fractured her nose. Remember, in her picture, we didn't see no fractured nose. Hold on, let me show you. Now, the picture did have a filter on it, to be fair. Let's be fair around here. It had a filter on it. Here we go. Right here. Now, it looked like it got a filter on, but I don't see no fractured nose or nothing. Like I said, I needed to see Tamar wrapped up in some bandages. If I did not see Tamar wrapped up in bandages, I wouldn't believe it. And I don't. Yeah, you busted your mouth, but you saying you had no mobility. I can't run or chew, but like, and that's the thing. You're saying that you lost your mobility and everything like that. Okay, well, sleepwalking doesn't make you lose your mobility, right, you guys? Am I crazy? Like, is losing your mobility like a part of sleepwalking too as well, where you can't even what's going on, Sugar Walls? If her nose was fractured, she would have two. I don't see no black eyes. She looked too. Listen, she looks too healed. She healed way too fast. Unless she's a vampire on True Blood, she can't heal that fast. I'm sorry. Again, how does a person's dentist speak for the rest of someone's care? Exactly. Why was the dentist talking? That's what I said in the beginning. I was like, isn't this a dentist? How does she know everything? This literally seemed paid for. They paid somebody to do this and was all like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have my dentist speak on my behalf of my care. Because, okay, you show us the teeth, right? But why not show us the nose? Show us the nose, show us the pool of blood, show us everything. If you're going to show the teeth, you might as well show everything, right? That's how I feel. Man, I knew. I was all like, this whole thing doesn't sound right. And the fact that they waited this long, almost 2 weeks, to produce evidence, right? Or I should put evidence. Yeah, I should do the quotations on the evidence. The fact that they took 2 weeks says a lot. For me, it don't take 2 weeks to produce like, hey, I busted my mouth and this and that happened. But still, I guess Funky would be in the clear because, okay, he didn't do anything to her, right? Now, it doesn't seem, well, they said it was sleepwalking. So technically, they're saying nobody did anything to her. She was sleepwalking and then she fell. Now, I wonder, does she have a history of sleepwalking? Like, is this something that she has done before? Or was it you were sipping the alcohol and then, wait, somebody said, I thought Funky said she called him. Yeah, she wanted Dr. Heavenly number, but I guess Dr. Heavenly couldn't take her. Like, she needed immediate service. So I guess Dr. Heavenly couldn't take her, so she went to the other person. Now, Dr. Heavenly, she would have told the truth. She would have been like, yeah, this girl was drinking and blah, blah, blah. That's what we really needed. We needed Dr. Heavenly. And I'm looking at the poll too. A lot of y'all don't believe her. Listen, you seen that? I wouldn't give no, that's full price right there. That's a lot of surgery, you know? And mind you, they said she's still not done. Still not done. And I'm just looking at her poll right now. Ooh, 89% said no. You guys are not believing this whole sleepwalking story. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, if we're going to be honest about it, the sleepwalking shit, nah, we not buying that at all. Because, again, you have to remember her initial post was that she woke up in a pool of blood. She didn't know what happened. Mind you, this was on Tuesday. The incident happened on Sunday. So you telling me that it took them 2 weeks to find out you were sleepwalking? 2 weeks to find out you were sleepwalking. Yeah, it's just not sounding right to me. At least for me, it's not sounding correct. I need to know how he was protecting her romantic. Exactly. He didn't want to give the realty of who she was sleeping with. That's what it was. Now that it's all out there, he might as well just put it out. He's still talking about this is your second warning. I showed you guys the post, right? Let me pull it up here. Okay, here we go. He said, "This is your second warning to leave me alone. Drop this shit and stop posting subliminal posts. The world knows you you are talking to me, Tamar Braxton Smollett." That was funky right there. Tamar Braxton Smollett. He knows she lying. And listen, there's a little truth in everything, right? Obviously, she did bust her mouth. But do we believe that the excuse that she's given us is that true? No, we're not believing it at all. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button, because I was just looking at the likes and it says that we only have 62 likes. Yeah, get them likes up. How are we doing on the likes, y'all? Help me understand. Let's be clear. Oh, I missed your comment. Dang, it went too fast. Right, make it make sense. She's using this to garner publicity. Oh, 99. Oh, yeah, we could do way better than that. So what I wanted to show you guys is, remember I was telling you guys about LaTroy, Tamar's former friend, who she screwed over. He actually did a video the other day talking about this whole situation and basically calling Funky Dineva out. And what I love about it is that Funky, you know how Funky is accusing us of going in and knowing everything and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is what he did to this man. And so I want to go ahead and play, guys. Hold on. Let's go ahead and pull it up here. Because again, when you're in this commentary space, you can talk about whoever and whatever you want to, you know? If you talk about people, we can talk about you. It's natural. It happens. You better grow some tough skin. All right, here we go.
She just really jumped out the window. And you got to be careful when you pick fights. And that's what I've learned in this business. You just never know.
What's going on, everybody? It is LaTroy, and I'm here to do a video that is different than most of the videos that I do on my YouTube page. But there was some things and something that happened that I just thought was very ironic, and I wanted to just address it real quick. And just, you know, Nicki Minaj said years ago that when you pick fights, you have to be careful because you never know. And so I just want to say, this is not a video about Tamar Braxton. Tamar Braxton is a part of this story just because of the whole situation. But I wanted to call out some things that Funky the...
And remember, he got thrown on the bus when he was the one defending James Wright Chanel for getting attacked by, not by Tamar, by Krishan. And remember, all of Tamar's people was like, oh, no, it's not true. Even Krishan was saying, oh, no, it's not true. It's not true. Remember that? He got thrown on the bus for telling the truth. Very much similar to Funky Dineva.
Diva said about me, as referenced me, when Tamar and I had kind of a little situation about almost 2 years ago. And now he is, Carter took your man, upset about things that he's going through. So I just wanted to kind of break down some things that he said then and things that he said now.
But what we don't do as friends, and at least not the way I was brought up, is that when you get mad with your friend, then you want to start throwing stuff in their face and start talking about what you owe me and what you don't.
Wow. Sounds familiar, right?
But now let's see what he says in 2025 about his situation.
And let's not get it twisted. Because see, now I'm finna tell it. Let me sit up. Now I'm finna tell it. My response was, I don't know what happened to the lady. All I know is the lady called me and asked me for Dr. Heavenly's phone number because she said 14 was missing. I don't know what happened to the lady.
And now, maybe I'm missing it, but back in 2003, didn't he say that he was not the type of person that goes online and tells their friends business? But to me, it sounds like he just did the total opposite. He went and told his friends business, right?
Now, what it's giving, if you read between the lines, is that Troy has been cut off and no longer has access to the camp.
I'm steady texting and calling different people in the crew. Nobody's answering the phone for me.
Couldn't make this up. So he said I was exiled from the island. Nobody was talking to me. That's what he said back in 2023. And now we're in 2025 and nobody's answering the phone for him.
And then last but not least, Troy got on that thing and said, I've been beat down for over a month straight, publicly and privately. And today just sent me over. Now that was sent on the whole while, the whole TikTok, the whole YouTube. Everybody is going, think pieces down to the ground. And let me explain to you why this moment.
Okay, some of you are saying like this is a different scenario, different situation. What's the different scenario or situation? Because to me, this just looks like Tamar is a shitty friend all around. That's what it looks like to me. Tamar is out for Tamar. Like I don't see it as two different things. You know, I see it as the same thing. Now, maybe a different scenario, but the theme of Tamar ain't shit, I think that's pretty much the theme of the whole situation, right?
Right.
Again, I think it's Alanis Morissette that has a song that says, "Isn't it ironic?" So when I was talking about how I was getting beat down for months, he was making a mockery of me. Now he's talking about how the whole TikTok and how everybody on the internet got this to say about him, that to say about him. It's like, oh my God, these incidents kind of mirror. The fact is, I wasn't trying to play you. You got involved in a situation and was making your blogs about something that you had no idea about. And now you are on the same side that you were trying to shade.
But you know what else we want to know? What sent you over, and we want to be sent over? The police report from where James went and filed charges on Krishan.
Well, since back in 2023, you were insinuating I was lying because you were asking for a police report of what happened, and that if there is no police report, I need to be as loud as I was about this police report. Well, non-existent police report, according to him. But look, guess what happened? Not only was there a police report, there was an arrest.
I just have an attitude in 2023 when grown-ass fucking people, big grown-ass people, get on the internet, especially people who have influence, and stir up all this fucking commotion, and there's no end result.
So he says that he has an attitude when grown ass people get on the internet and talk about stuff and start commotion for no reason. I'm gonna say that again. He said that he gets pissed off when people get on the internet and cause commotion for no reason. Isn't that what he does for, a job, is get online and cause commotion for no reason?
Damn.
I want y'all to name a world, name a universe, name a planet where people start accusing you of doing something nefarious to somebody, and you just sit back and you don't say anything.
All right. So now that we have broken down certain pieces of that, I'm just going to leave with what I started with. When you pick fights you have to be careful because you never know.
I agree with that.
And 2 years ago, when Funky the Diva was hooting and hollering about me on the internet, he probably never thought that 2 years.
And I think he's saying the name wrong on purpose because he spelled it right on top, and then he goes Funky the Diva.
Later, he would be in the same predicament. And that is why I always tell people, when you pick fights, you have to be careful because you never know. So, Mr. Funky the Diva, I would say that you use this as a learning lesson. You use this as an opportunity to start moving differently, because now you're the one off the island. I was never on the island, to be quite completely honest, but that's a whole nother story. But now you're off the island. Now you're exiled. I saw that you did get your public apology now that you've begged for it for the past 8 years. You got your public apology. But at the end of the day, remember, the things that you say about people can come right back to you.
That's true. All right, but what are your thoughts about all that, you guys? Do you think Troy has a point, or is he just being overdramatic? I think a mixture of both. But I mean, essentially, he's telling the truth. You ended up in the same situation as me. They're ignoring your calls. They're playing in your face, making you seem like the bad guy. Again, Troy got in trouble because he came out and spoke about the Krishan situation with James Wright Chanel, but he was literally sticking up for his friend, but somehow it got looked at that he was being messy, and then they all try to deny anything happened just to come and find out, like, no, something did happen. Krishan ended up going to jail for it, you know? When she got arrested outside the courthouse, yeah, she got arrested for it. So again, what he was saying was true. He wasn't making any of that up, but now he's looked at as the bad guy, or he's looked at as being fake, or, you know, he was just mad or salty and jealous and all this stuff. Well, no, it seemed like he had a point, a very valid point at that. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the show right there. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Do y'all believe the Tamar sleepwalking story? Oh, I dropped. What's the poll say right now? Is it still no? Is no still in the 80s? No, I think it was in the 90s. What does the poll say, you guys? That was crazy. Nobody believed that sleepwalking story. That sleepwalking stuff, it's just too random. And please, can we go ahead and get them likes up? It's over 600 people in here, and we only got 133 likes. I know we can do better than that. Yep, 90%. Nobody believes it. What's up, Kiki? All right, you guys, as I said, I'm going to go ahead and get the hell up out of here. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of y'all for being here, but we out, y'all. Deuces, everybody. And shout out to the replay crew, by the way.